What's up, everybody? Welcome to Philly with John Marks. Good morning if you're watching live. It felt warm this morning when I went outside. It's like, wow, man. It's like it's not that warm, but it's warmer than it has been. Philly with John Marks, presented by Bet Parks and Central City Toyota. As this morning we're joined on Wednesdays, it seems like this is a regular thing now. We're joined from blackgritty.com. His name's Black Gritty. Black Gritty, good morning. How are you, buddy? What's going on?
Good morning, Johnny Marks. I am awake. I am not sleeping at all. I normally never sleep anyway, but I've been so excited all week. This is amazing. I'm running off of pure Jet Eagles fuel. So
you're busy, you're active, you're releasing on your social medias videos and bites that are getting thousands and tens of thousands of clicks and views and comments and everything else. I'm watching you. It's kind of like an athlete in Philly, Black Gritty, that we watch. We're like, wow, this guy's turning into a star right before our eyes. Blackgritty.com. Check him out for all his social media handles. You're becoming a star right before my eyes, Black Gritty.
I'm putting up a shot. My favorite thing that I'm doing on the internet right now is that anytime I see a post when somebody hating on Jalen Hurts or hating on the Eagles, my goal is to have the meme of Jalen Hurts grinning over his shoulder and me being the first comment. Like, they're going to ban me from this gift because I'm just working it to death. Everybody in their comments crying, the Commanders, the Rams, everybody just so upset. And it's like, well, it is what it is. You get what you get. Everybody hates Philadelphia right now. Yeah. And I love that feeling again. I love it.
I feel at home, don't you? I mean, here's like the crazy thing, and you're right. You're watching all the shows and the Takers and Cowherd and all those guys, and they can't stop talking out of both sides of their mouths. They can't. Like, I saw Greenberg yesterday where he was like, I think it was who was it that was they were trying to dissect Jalen Hurts, saying that, yeah, Sirianni took me out of my straitjacket, as Hurts trying to pick a fight with Sirianni and saying, yeah, like it's his fault. And the proper read on the situation was, I think he was talking to the media, saying like, yes, oh yeah, like I actually can play if I'm allowed to throw the football, and you guys don't think I can play. And was it Foxworthy, Dominic Foxworthy?
Foxworth and Jeff Saturday, a center, right, by the way.
Both have kind of said the same thing. On it. And Greenberg immediately is like, well, I can't criticize him for one. And it's like, dude, like, here's the thing. You don't have to come out with your tail tucked between your legs and be like, oh my God, I was so wrong on Jalen Hurts, I should have never said it. No, like, it was an opinion. When you don't throw the football and you're not throwing the football, I think it's fair to wonder, all right, like, are they trying to hide this guy or what? But like, now's not the time to act like that you didn't have that take and you weren't like Greenberg he's not a takester. So he's not the one that has to take a position and then he's going like a Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel isn't what he's talking about anymore. He's so bad. And it's not just what he's saying. He's really bad at what he does. He sounds awful in the air trying to backpedal from it, right? It's silly season. I can't believe at this point we're still doing this. And like you said, BG, I'm glad we are, because it just motivates them, and it's great. I love the fact when everybody doesn't want to give the Eagles credit.
On Monday, it seemed like everyone backtracked and soft-pedaled because they wanted Jaden Daniels to win. So they were all the Eagles did this, Eagles did that, but they didn't want to celebrate them because they were waiting for Monday. They already had the soundbite. They're waiting for Tuesday to come so they can release the Jalen Hurts hates his coach, and James Jones on the facility ripped into Jalen. And I didn't want to play the clip because I don't want to give any credence to that in Philadelphia, but he went so hard at Jalen. I'm like, just say you don't like the guy. That's literally what it is. Just say you don't like it. It's just like the people that don't like Nick Sirianni. I get why you don't like Nick. He yelled at fans. He yelled at our fans. You know, his bravado, you know what I mean? The Zach Ertz thing, like, it's just his attitude that you don't like. But trying to couch that as him being a bad coach.
Can't do it.
At this point, you can't do it anymore. You have to let it go. I've let it go. I had to bend the knee on that, you know what I mean? And he wins the Super Bowl, he's going to get nothing but flowers from me. At that point, there's nothing I can say about the things he's done because the team believes in him. The team believes in Jalen. So you can sit there and say that they're having a problem. You've worked with people you haven't that liked your whole life. Everybody has. Grow up. You're an adult. You've gone to a job, not like somebody, and gotten the job done. You don't need to invite them over your house for dinner for it to be a great relationship, for it to work at your workplace. But everybody wants to have all this drama with Philadelphia. We got enough drama in-house. I don't need the Greenbergs of the world sassifying it up.
Right. Like, so Greenberg's response was, but do you believe that if you get down a couple scores, or actually, no, this was Foxworth that said this, do you believe if you get down a couple scores that Jalen Hurts can lead you back? And then he's like, but when have the Eagles been down a couple scores? But just to answer the question, if the Eagles fall, I mean, what are we talking about? 21-0? Who's the quarterback that's coming back from 21-0 to a team like the Chiefs? Right? Like, that's, just Josh Allen coming back from that? No, but do I believe that Jalen Hurts, if the Eagles fall behind, can bring the team back? Of course I can. Like, why? That's what I'm saying. In today's media society, and it sucks. But it's not going anywhere. Like, this is what these guys need to do. When you get a guy like Chase Daniel that made a lot of money in the NFL, he still was taxed like that. He still had an agent. Like you should be able to live the rest of your life on what you made in the NFL. But if you were spending money like you were going to make that for the rest of your life, like, he's got to get a job, or he wants to get a job, right? So if you're Chase Daniel, how do you do it? You listen to the executives at Fox and at FS1 that's trying to build a show, and they say, we're putting you on this show. This is what you need to do. And this is what all these guys are doing, because they're seeing the Stephen A. money. They're seeing the Shannon Sharp money. They're seeing the money. Like, Shady made a lot of money. Shady actually gets the best role of all, because he can just be an Eagle fan and make fun of everybody. All these other idiots have to do the heavy lifting of criticizing Hurts. Even when he comes out and he says, see, I can throw the ball if we need me to. He was great on Sunday. It's just, I can't believe they keep doubling down on this crap. I can't believe it.
And somebody can fact check me out there on the internet, but I think Jalen Hurts has like 7 games where he's come back down 10-1. So, I mean, this notion is just silly in general. He's won 10 times, multiple years in a row. Like, there's been no time when he's been down. There's been no time when he's had to come back. And again, I'll ask you this question. If the Eagles are down 3, what do? Run the ball. If they're down 10, run the ball, because our home run hit on a run is the same thing as a deep pass. They're not going to stop running the ball no matter what you do, because it's going to wear on the defense. So you're right. They're doing it because they need clicks and they need money, and I might as well get some clicks. We might as well get some clicks off them too, because it's just embarrassing for them to say the things that they say.
I wanted to play this, and not because this guy is the Sean Marash of WFAN. I just wanted to play the video with you because this might be, is this the worst? I don't even want to call it a take, but is this the worst aging of a video that somebody said ever? So Tyler, if you could pull it up. And by the way, I checked in because he also, like, everything that he says is insane about the Eagles. And it's like, dude, what is wrong with you? I can't imagine that anybody that you work with thinks what you're doing right now is okay or it's good for your career, because I don't believe it is. I had a couple people text me last night based on an Instagram post I put out from this idiot. And it said, like, bro, the behavior is bizarre. And they all agree, because I texted the one guy back and I said, he's not like this in real life. I've been told that, like, he's a good guy. And he's like, yeah, he's a really good guy. No, like, this is not, like, he's an over-the-top Eagle fan, Eagle hater, sure, but, like, he's not this much of an idiot. But do we have it, Tyler? Here's Sean Marash. This is after the Eagles lost to the Falcons in the regular season game, week 2.
I tried to tell you, Eagle fans, you have that losing player, Saquon Barkley, with all his crap drops in crucial spots, and already in week 2, he's cost you a football game. Losing players lose games. Enjoy that. Enjoy Nick Sirianni's man titties. Enjoy it all, Philly. You guys suck. Saquon sucks. You lost to Kirk Cousins in prime time.
I mean, it's actually really funny. If he, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with a Giant fan having that reaction that hates the fact that Saquon went to the Eagles, and it's the Eagles, and they lose the second game of the season. The video is just very funny. His age's incredibly poor, but he can't stop at that, though, Black Gritty. He has from that, he tweeted out saying that if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, the goalposts have been moved now to where if they don't win the Super Bowl, it'll be a huge, huge failure. That if they don't win the Super Bowl. Do we agree that the Eagles just making the Super Bowl is an accomplishment in itself? And then you kind of reset it, and now you got to win another Super Bowl. But even if Saquon gets bottled up by the Chiefs and they don't win the game, this has been a huge success. This is one of the great signings in Philadelphia sports history. This has been an all-time Eagles season from a player. It's unbelievable.
Even the national media has bent the knee on that too. It's a huge success in football. It's one of the greatest signings in football. And it's not even like the McCaffrey effect, because McCaffrey wasn't setting records. He wasn't close to setting records. Saquon Barkley gets 40 yards, and he's rushed for more yards than any running back in any season ever. 40 more yards in the Super Bowl, and he's already set that record. And this guy, the thing that cracks me up when I listen to that again, because I don't listen to the whole clip anymore, but he's talking about Nick Sirianni's chest, but then he cries and he's like, I can't believe everybody's attacking me over a sports take like I'm not a human being. You're talking about man titties on a grown adult in another state on another team, laughing in your fuzzy camera. You can't even wipe the goop off your front camera while you're making this crappy fuzzy video like you're in 1977. That's an embarrassing individual. This dude is a clown. Dictionary definition.
He sure is. Just look at his tweets, but don't look at his tweets, because we don't want to promote him. Glad Hair Restoration sponsors the next segment here. GladHairMCTR.com, 610-980-4000. Black Gritty, we cannot get him. He is not going to go to. I mean, you could go to Glad Hair Restoration. They could get you.
I could go to Glad.
Some lettuce.
Maybe when I hit the islands when I retire, I'll go down there so I can look good on the beach.
We'll get you a nice curly fro to.
That's what I'm talking about.
To have on your head. All right, so and we'll get to next segment. We'll do 76ers because Bron was in town, and we'll play a new game. Who's missing? That's coming up next. But it looks like Kellen Moore is going to get the offensive coordinator or the head coaching job of the Saints. So, like Mike McCarthy and Cliff Kingsbury both yesterday came out and said, yeah, we're removing ourselves from consideration for the Saints head coaching job. Like, oh, so you're doing that after the Saints flew to Philadelphia and are hiring Kellen Moore to be their next head coach. They just can't announce it until after the Super Bowl. Are we on the same page here? Kellen Moore is the next coach of the Saints?
Yes. And I'm not happy about it, but I'm happy about it. I don't know. Jalen Hurts has had a new coordinator every single year, and I hate having this conversation every single offseason. It's the one thing. Fred Wilson, shout out to him. He's in the chat. He's always in the chat. He's a big Sirianni guy. You know what I mean? He battles him. He's in all my comments, every post I make. Talk about giving Nick respect. This is the main caveat. But besides antics, he doesn't orchestrate or run anything. It's a Todd Bowles defense. It's a Sean McVay offense. It's a Mike Tomlin defense. You don't even know who the coordinator is for Mike Tomlin. You just say it's a Mike Tomlin defense. Nick Sirianni doesn't have an expertise or a skill. When he was controlling the offense, it looked like my nephew playing Madden. Run, pass. He doesn't have his own system. So we have to keep getting these coordinators in, and then Jalen has to get behind the 8 ball again, learning a new offense every single year. And that's another thing he should get credit for overcoming that, because it isn't easy. It is hard. And Kellen Moore, I don't think he's the best, but I think he's done a good job. And so I just would hope to keep building on that. But we're going to have another offense coordinator next year. We're running out of people. Like, where are we going to get all these coordinators from? It's not easy. And
like you had said, with Andy Reid, I was talking about to this with Tyler before the show. Morningway gets a job. Brad Childress slides in from being the quarterback's coach to the offensive coordinator. Childress gets a job, right? Like, you get poached when you're good, but they had guys in the pipeline to where they could internally slide up. I don't think that you have this because, like you were saying, they were running Andy Reid's offense. So just like in Kansas City, you can bring up offensive coordinators internally. It doesn't matter. Here, that's not the case. There's no Sirianni offense. So I don't think they have younger guys that you necessarily feel confident because you need an offense. And that's what Kellen Moore was. So now you have to go externally, and you have to get a guy that can run his own offense, that has an offense, that can call plays. And I mean, are those guys plentiful out there? I hadn't even, like, Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Obviously, we're focused on that. But when it looks like it's pretty much a lock that Kellen Moore's getting this job, now you have to actually pause and say, like, all right, well, who's taking over the offense next year? And, we'll see. We know how, listen, the Eagles are a great organization. They'll find somebody, but with Brian Johnson, it didn't work, right? So we'll see.
And you have slim pickings because you're in the Super Bowl. That's the other issue. You're already behind the 8 ball and even finding someone. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's already getting picked up and snatched up. So it's, like I said, I don't like it, But if that's what it is, congratulations to him. But it's just rough that every year this is the situation we're in.
Well, get used to it, Black Gritty, because they keep winning. They're going to keep getting their coaches poached. I saw Fit Dad CEO was in the chat, and he was doing this on social media, like a lot of people were doing this on social media. Finger wagging at Kellen Moore. Oh, he should be concentrating on the NFC Championship game. I saw this before the NFC Championship game. He's got to be concentrating on the Packers, interviewing BS before playoff games. That's the NFL's problem. Don't blame these coordinators and coaches that are trying to find head coaching jobs, all right? Unfortunately, with Jonathan Gannon and the way that he handled things, it doesn't help anybody in Philadelphia, any of these coordinators in Philadelphia. So I blame Jonathan Gannon for being completely unprofessional with how he handled that kind of stuff. If Kellen Moore can't be prepared to win a Super Bowl, which will always be on his resume, you think that he's going to be more focused on the Saints roster? If they told him he's getting the job, then I think he's going to have enough time to get ready for the Super Bowl and also realize he's going to be a head coach shortly after that. So I'm not worried about that, and I hate when I see people saying that, and I blame Jonathan Gannon, not the people.
So, first of all, shout out to Fit Dad. He was on Gritty Nights last night with me. We was chopping it up, talking birds. We were so excited. We forgot to talk about anything Eagles for the first 15 minutes. But I will say this, to regular fans and to regular people and people like myself, you have credibility to say that. Because here's the other thing about getting a job, John. I've got a job that, okay, I love this job. I like this job. The thing that I've been working my whole entire adult career life for is now gifted to me, and I know it. The same reason I can't sleep at night because I'm so excited about my Philadelphia Eagles. When you think about that $10 to $12 million paycheck, yeah, you're making $2 million. $2 million is nice, but make it 10 or whatever, 4 years guaranteed. You can't sleep at night because you're so excited. It's just like hitting a lottery ticket. So I hear what you're saying, Johnny Marks, but at the same time, you better do your dang gum best. And he did have one of the best play calling games I saw last Sunday. Right. There was so much motion in the ocean. He was jet sweeps, Goddard with a sweep. I mean, he pulled out all the stops, and it better keep pumping. That's all I'm saying, Johnny Marks, because I know he can't sleep at night knowing he got that lottery ticket in his back pocket, just burning a hole in it.
I just how do we judge it other than, so was he ready for the NFC Championship game? He wasn't worried about the interview afterwards because they looked so good. So if the offense doesn't look great, does that mean that he wasn't prepared, or does that mean the offense doesn't look great? I just don't. It's not like they're like, are you been drinking, sir? Let me give you a breathalyzer. You actually know how drunk a person is. There's no breathalyzer for offensive coordinator, whether he's distracted by an incoming job or not. What are you going to do?
See, this is why I don't like you, Johnny Marks. This is why I don't like you. I don't like rational, reasonable thing. I don't like an adult talking to me, okay? I want to be fandom, a fanatic, and be rah, 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 rah. You making all this sense? Nobody want to hear all that. Shut your mouth, Johnny Marks. Let us grow up, okay? We need something in our back pocket to pew-pew at, okay? Let us live out here.
And we're not going to have the sod father to blame this time, right?
I saw that tweet a lot, and I was like, it's a dome, dummies. It's a dome. Like, that one, you're right. That one, I don't want to hear nothing about. That one, I'll let you ride with, because that was outrageous. There were so many sod father images and gifs, and I'm like, let this man live. Is he still rocking? Like, is he in a nursing home somewhere?
I'm still mad as hell with the sod father.
Everybody is.
All right, so listen, coming up, all right, we're going to go in the locker room. Tyler's been in the locker room. That's where he's been. He's going to recap everything that happened with the 76ers last night, including the Eagles ringing the bell down there, and they beat Bron and Bronny. Bronny had an extended run last night. Yeah.
That's how you know they beat him.
We're going to play Who's Missing. Did the 76ers snub the Eagles? That's all coming up right after this, Philly, with John Marks. All right, listen. We were talking about lettuce on Black Gritty's head. Yep. Well, I'm just telling you, all right? So, like, you talk about levels of baldness and thinning and hair loss and things like that. So you have the Black Gritty where he probably shaves his head, but then he has the stubble around here, but not a lot of hair up here. So could you go to Glatt Hair Restoration and get your hair back? Yep, you certainly could. And it would look good. It'd be an improvement over being bald. I had it, like, I was starting to thin right here, right? Like, I was kind of like a lot of guys. Your hairline starts going back, you're receding. You get to a point where you say, you know what, I'm going to shave my head, or I'm going to style it differently, or like whatever, right? I didn't get to that point because went to Glatt Hair Restoration, and they kind of filled in the holes, like right here. There's a spot right here they did, and the results are amazing. Regardless of your stage of hair loss, Glatt Hair Restoration has the most the most expertise in the industry, over 30 years. All they do is hair. And like I'm telling you, and I'm headed there to talk to my girls tomorrow over at Glatt Hair Restoration by Morgan Stern Medical. Just like to know what they're saying, what people are saying when they call. When you call 610-980-4000, when you go to glatthairmctr.com, GLAT hairmctr.com, it's not just about hair restoration. If you're thinning and you're like, you know what, I don't want to lose any more hair. I don't want to get to hair restoration status. Well, listen, a ton of options. PRP and stem cell restoration, vitamin supplementation, which is very popular these days with men and women, non-invasive treatments, and more. And you're going to get a complimentary one-on-one consultation. And it's going to be like, all right, what's the best course of treatment for you? Because they're an advocate for you. You are a patient from the first phone call to the last follow-up visit. 610-980-4000 or glatthairmctr.com. I forgot to give a hoo-ah for Glatt Hair. Let's turn it over to, he's in the locker room right now. He's coming up, but he in the locker room, he's wearing his shades. It's Shady Tyler.
Well, I was wearing my shades, and I had to take them off because I'm not trying to, not be able to see in here, because then it would be an entirely different conversation. But sometimes when you do reads, John, you're just reading a script, and sometimes when you do reads and you're advocating for a brand, it's because you truly believe in the brand and you wear the brand. And Shady Rays is a brand that I've been wearing for years because I trust them with my eyes. I always tell you guys about how I get headaches and my eyes are troublesome in the sun and off the glare. Shady Rays is the perfect brand for me because it helps me drive. It helps me see during the day. It helps me see off the snow. The snow is a mess with my eyes. And the best thing about Shady Rays is that they have every style, every color scheme that you could want in a pair of sunglasses. You see the pair on the bottom right there? That's my next pair. That is the exact pair that I'm going to buy next. It's not just because it's in the graphic, but it's because it's the one that I like. It gets me a little bit of a different look than the sportier look. They're a little bit more of a classic look, but you also have aviators. You've got a ton of different things and a ton of different styles you can try. John's going to put his on and show you a different pair there. The orange frames, the orange lenses, excuse me. But the thing about the lenses is crystal clear optics and incredible polarized lenses in every single pair that you can buy. And if you lose or damage a pair of Shady Rays, don't worry about it. They have the best return policy, the best exchange policy, and the best protection policy in all of eyewear. So try for yourself why a pair of Shady Rays is for you, and I'll tell you why 300,000 people have rated Shady Rays 5 stars. It's because they are the best pair of sunglasses in the business.
All right, there he is. And I'll be honest, I'm not a thief. I've never been a thief. I've never shoplifted as a kid. I had friends that went to Kmart and tried to steal stuff, and they got caught shoplifting. I remember my mom saying, "Thank you for not being that kid," because they're those kids you hang out with every day, and you decided not to go. I thought about stealing these sunglasses. I might have to do it. I don't know. I mean, keep leaving them around.
We wouldn't have been friends, Johnny Marks. You know what I mean? No pack of gum, nothing out here. You never slid on a pack of gum, Johnny Marks?
Nope, not a thief. Not a thief. Oh. I'm too worried about getting caught. You know what I mean? I watch enough. I don't watch enough Cops. I know what happens when store security sees you doing it.
Well, just throw a piece of paper in the air, stick glasses in your pocket, and blame it on T-Easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal.
Johnny Marks thinks he can get away with grabbing this piece of gum. This dirtbag's gonna get justice.
Oh, dude, you leave even at work with people that you like. You leave a hat or like a pair of sunglasses at work, and I'm not talking about this work. I'm just talking about before. Oh yeah, it's like, oh, what? Hey, I just left them there 12 hours ago. How did somebody not put them? No, they vanished in the thin air.
The worse than that, you know what? If you stole my hat, you stole my glasses, that's fine. The worst thing that ever happened, and it happens all the time, is when somebody steals your lunch. And it's not just because I'm fat. It's because if you made lunch and you don't have time to go out to get lunch or whatever, and then you go to that fridge and your food's not there, first I'm sad, and then I'm on a rampage to hunt down somebody. I'm like, who's got rice in their beard? Like, where did my lunch go? Where did my lunch go?
So that's
the worst thief.
That's what happened during COVID, where Jack Fritz took John Ritchie's sandwich, not realizing it was John Ritchie's sandwich, because they were just bringing us a bunch of food and we would just take whatever we wanted. But then they stopped doing that and they were just bringing sandwiches because the company was paying for it. And Jack ate John Ritchie's hoagie.
It's devastating.
Kill him. I'm not kidding.
It's
I thought he was going to kill him.
Oh, God.
And Jack didn't say anything. And I'm like, Jack, I saw you eating a hoagie. And John's face was like, huh?
So you ain't stealing, but you snitching. Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't stealing, but you snitching, Johnny.
Jack didn't know. It wasn't his fault at all. I totally threw him under the bus. It was great. All right. So couple things here. We'll get to. We'll play this game. Couple things here, guys. So I don't know if you saw this. The person that was climbing the pole that fell, he died. So I don't know if people saw this. And like, I'm not making light of this at all. When the Eagles win the Super Bowl, they didn't grease the poles, I guess, for the NFC Championship game. They weren't expecting it. Please don't be climbing up stuff. This kid who's 18, he was a Temple student. He fell from the pole. On his way down, he hit a street sign. And then he went flat. There's a video. It doesn't show it clearly, and I didn't watch it. I'm just reading what I think Kevin Kincaid put on Crossing Broad. And he fell right on his back. He died. He was on life support, I saw yesterday. 15th and Market Street. And he suffered a brain injury. He was on life support. He died. So please, when you celebrate, eat horse poop before you climb poles. All right? Because then you'll at least die a slow death internally.
And they did grease the poles, but it doesn't matter. They always grease the poles. You can't stop people. It really comes down to the first 4 people trying to get up there. They wipe the grease off with their clothing, and then it's on like Donkey Kong. But that's really sad. And you got to be careful. I saw a video clip of a guy just shooting a gun in the air. Like at these events, like it always goes crazy. The college town, I see him flipping over cars. I saw a car get flipped on top of people one time. Somebody got hit with a car the other night. Because people it's just a lot. People are drinking. You got to be careful. You got to be safe. But you're right. The climbing the pole thing, that's the last thing you want to hear. That's the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, someone died, so keep that in mind. And the gun that was up in Northeast Philly at Cotman and Frankfurt. Yeah, the guy. Those bullets come down, by the way.
Yes.
They don't go up into outer space and never come down. You're just shooting off a gun in a crowd. Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
And everybody was just chill with it. So this is what I said about it, Johnny Marks. We are screwed in a zombie apocalypse. When you watch those movies and the military comes in, you try to quarantine people and corral them. You can't stop regular fans at a sporting event. If aliens come here, there's a zombie apocalypse, we are toast. Within inside of 33 minutes, Johnny Marks, toast. It won't be stopped.
Zombie apocalypse.
I'm just saying, you watch every zombie movie, they're like, oh, please stop. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, nah, bro. It's on like Donkey Kong. They're getting mowed down in the streets.
All right, let's play a game. It's it may become as big as what's a big Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? A more modern game show. Deal or No Deal.
I'll take that.
This one's called Who's Missing? Here's your host, Tyler Zulli.
Yeah, I feel like we need some theme music or something. Dun, 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 dun. It's just a ripoff at this point.
I'll do Benny Hill.
Yakety sax.
Benny Hill music.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just cheating at this point.
We can't play that though because it'd be copyright infringement and they would shut us down. So we can't do that. But anyway, who's missing, Tyler? What do we got?
Let's play a new game here. I'm going to show you guys a little picture here, and you can tell me what the problem is with this picture, because I am just kind of baffled at how this whole thing has transpired, and I'll have it for you in just a second.
So normally, the Philadelphia has become a really good community with the teams. All the sports teams, like Bryce was wearing a Cooper DeJean jersey. There were a bunch of Eagles players at the 76ers game last night. The Phillies, there was a point in time where Joe Banner was so mad that the Phillies won the World Series and won the championship first, that there was noted disdain from the Eagles towards the Phillies because there was jealousy that was there with Joe Banner. It certainly, or at least it didn't feel like that, Black Gritty, before we play this. All right, so who's missing? So you see, Bryce Harper renounced his Dallas Cowboy fandom. Now he is a diehard Eagle fan. Cooper DeJean jersey. That's tweeted out by the Phillies. The Flyers. That's Big Jordan Mailata. Flyers jersey. And then Tyler had to tell me who this guy on the right was. I thought it was just some fan.
No, that's McKellar on the right. He does, in fact, play for the Union. That's the Union tweeting out an Eagles jersey. Big mood, they say.
Doing the right thing. I mean, like that's being a part of the Philadelphia sports community, right? The Eagles can't tweet out about themselves. But who's Black Gritty? There's something missing from here. And what is it? Oh, it's the 76ers tweeting anything out about the Eagles. And it's so noteworthy.
In this city of brotherly love, we are supposed to support each other, at least in this era. When you see Joel Embiid at the Phillies games in the World Series, it means something. It matters. When you see Kelsey, when you see any of the Eagles players there supporting the team, it matters. When you go to the playoffs and the Eagles comes there and rings the bell and they do the Eagles chant, it matters. When you're watching the Flyers and they're doing first down celebrations on goals, that's unity because you know you're in the middle of something. This city and all those teams have supported the 76ers on their mediocre second-round run for the last half of a decade. And the Eagles are going into a Super Bowl, and I can't get a go Birds from the main account. I can't get a congratulations about winning the NFC Championship and going to the Super Bowl. Every one of those other accounts did it. I got a text from my daughter's high school saying, "Go Birds," and congratulations to the Eagles. And I know the AD is a San Francisco 49ers fan, and he even recognized that you have to support and be a part of what's going on. Josh Harris needs to sell his part in the team. And I just found out last night that Jeffrey Lloyd's trying to buy a piece of the Celtics. My goodness, are they trying to make my heart bleed? Like, do they want my head to explode? Like, I know Johnny Marks don't even say it fully because I don't even want him to have it. Buy the Sixers. Buy Philadelphia, Lord. You know the money's here. We got the money. Don't make me upset with you like I am with Josh Harris. Josh Harris needs to sell the 76ers. It's so disrespectful and petty and childish, especially when your franchise has been so inept and it's so embarrassing, and you just swindled the city out of a Jersey stadium and then a downtown stadium and then mess with everyone. Dude, sell this team. I'm not spending another dime on the Sixers, boy. I can't stand it, Johnny Marks. Well, can't stand it.
Like, you would think that there would be separation between the social media manager that puts out the tweets and ownership and the organization, right? Like, the obvious thing to do, even though the owner of the Sixers lost in the NFC Championship game, is you put out the tweet anyway. Who cares? Like, that shouldn't be an ownership level decision, but it clearly was, right? Yes. Like, I'm not telling you Josh Harris said don't tweet out, but whoever the hell works for Josh Harris made it like, don't tweet it out. Don't do that.
Josh Harris said it. It came from on high. The president of the United States said don't do it, and they didn't do it because you're right. There's no reason not to. Franklin can't sit out there and say go Bert. Like, it's not like you had to have somebody have a video with Swoop or something, but you can't make a tweet. You can't make a tweet with two words on it.
Do you not even try to be you try to be funny about it, maybe a little sarcasm because everybody knows Josh Harris owns the Sixers, and still congratulate the Eagles with kind of like a smile on your face? I don't know how you do that. But at bare minimum, you put something out. Now, here's where I'm at with it. And I think I talked about this the day after. You would have thought going into the game that a major storyline for Washington would have been the fact that the owner, Daniel Snyder's the worst owner perhaps in the history of sports, right? Was forced to sell the team. Josh Harris comes in, and in the first year is in the NFC Championship game, right? You didn't hear mention of him. I didn't watch the pregame, so I don't know if they did a feature on him in the pregame. They didn't mention him. They didn't show him. They didn't say Josh Harris, who's the new owner of the Commanders in his first year of the NFC Championship game, also owns the Sixers. A little bit of a conflict of interest there, Tom Brady, and you have a little fun with it. They didn't mention it. If you didn't know it as a person watching that game, you don't know it. You don't know Josh Harris owns the Sixers and the Commanders. No idea. That had to come internally from the Sixers, from their PR staff or somebody to say, don't do it. And maybe Josh Harris begrudgingly agreed because it would make him look bad. Could you imagine if they were showing Josh Harris in a box the entire game and now Washington's winning at any point? Man, people would be mad as hell. I feel like it was something from the 76ers side that said, hey, we don't need this kind of attention. Stop it. And Harris might have been pissed by it. I don't know. It's just the whole thing was weird how they didn't talk about it.
Like I said, it makes, like, you saying that just makes it even more compounding because you could have had Franklin just stick his head inside of the camera and be like, go Birds. And it would have been, like you said, it would have been something funny. You know what I mean? It would have just, whatever.
Make light of it.
And it would have been done. It was a tweet. It would have just went away. But now people are picking up on it and they see it. And it's like, okay, so then last night they're playing the Lakers. Are we going to talk about that or should I wait? What are we doing?
Yeah, well, we'll get into it right now. So let's go to the locker room, sponsored by Valley Forge Tourism. Winter weekend getaways, family-friendly affordability await in Valley Forge in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. There's so much to offer. Must-see historical sites, tons of family attractions, a vibrant art scene, outdoor activities, shopping, and more. Just 18 miles from downtown Philly. You know it. Take the kiddies, take the girlfriend, take the wife. ValleyForge.org. They can help you discover hidden gems, endless activities, and tons of places to stay in Montco. Get started planning that next weekend getaway. Go to valleyforge.org. Make it family time and make it Monco. And I think you have to put in www.valleyforge.org to get to the website. Like your website, you have to put in www.phlycheapseats.com. I digress. Tyler Zulli.
This is how BG's villain origin starts, as John pushes him over the edge with the www thing.
I'm going to come off the top row with the people's elbow. That's the WWE you're about to get.
Just turned heel all of a sudden.
Let's go in the locker room with Tyler Zulli.
Yeah, let's do it. So you brought up the Sixers. They do beat the Lakers yesterday. It's actually a third consecutive win for the Sixers, who win this game in 118-104 and drop almost a 50 spot in the second quarter. 48 points for the Sixers in the second quarter. Tyrese Maxey with 43 on the day. Kelly Oubre with 20. Yabu and Eric Gordon and Ricky Council all in double figures as well. The Sixers continue to do this thing where just as you're about ready to jump off and say, that's it, we're done, they go on a little mini run. They're now 3 games, 3 in a row. They're a game out of the 10th spot. And now you're sitting here talking about, is it a rebuild year? Is it a get to the playoffs and see what happens year? And here we go again.
Yeah. Maxey last night, it was like when he seems to rise to the occasion in big games. We saw it in the playoffs. But Bron's in town last night. Wells Fargo Center's packed. It's juiced. You have all the Eagles that are there or whatever. And Maxey played like he was playing in front of the stars last night. He was fantastic. Very, very good win. But yeah, that the big story was Bron was out the game. Bronny even got extended minutes and got smoked. Maxey was crushing him last night. He didn't hit a shot. I think he was 0 for 5 from the field, 15 minutes, bunch of turnovers. Yeah, but Maxey was blocked. Like, you going to put Bronny on me? All right, I got this.
By the way, John, you speak of the stars coming down there and the team not getting any respect from the Sixers. Well, the Eagles players were in attendance. You see, after the game, LeBron James met up with a couple of them. A.J. Brown and Darius Slay on the left, Paris Campbell on the right. And guys, my immediate thought when I saw this was, like, A.J. Brown is not a short dude. Paris Campbell is not a short dude. And LeBron, like, towers over these guys.
And he's not even standing up straight in that picture.
It's incredible. Like, A.J. Brown is a big guy, strong, physical. Like, and LeBron just, like, makes him look like he's, us, like a regular person.
Yeah, the video that's out there where you have, like, like, AJ's not that tall. AJ's, like, listed at 6'1". It's still tall. But Bron is a monster. He's a monster. He is much bigger than these guys. Football players. Unbelievable.
And I feel like they went there for LeBron. They didn't go there for the Sixers. They're like, oh, the Lakers are in town because the Sixers are backpedaling. They honestly, I'm nitpicking now because I'm just angry about everything. But they didn't even put out the video of all the Eagles hitting the bell like they usually do.
Right.
And they didn't put out the pictures until social media and people that were at the game were like, they're not sending out anything that the Eagles are here hitting the bell. Like, then next thing you know, 10 minutes later, oh, here, look, we got the Eagles here. We're doing our thing. So they went there for LeBron, and that's fine with me. You know what I mean? But at this point, he's got to sell this team. I really don't care. I don't care if the Sixers won. I don't care if they won 3 in a row. I don't care if they're at 10th spot. I don't give a ham sandwich. I don't care if they make the playoffs because I'm just going to be rooting for them to get bounced out. I need Josh Harris to sell this team. And you're right. They didn't bring him up because all they bring up is Magic Johnson. I hope Magic Johnson held him to sleep when they cried together when they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, got double nickeled at home in Philadelphia. Oh, I can't stand this man.
Well, it's funny, too. BG, you bring up, you're going for LeBron, and that's true. And I forget who it was. Somebody in the media a couple days ago made a point about, you're running out of opportunities to see LeBron. Like, at some point, his career is going to be finite. And so I'm not begrudging people anymore if, like, hey, I'm not going to watch the Sixers tonight. I'm going to see LeBron play. Like, you're going to see, at worst, what's he, the third best player in the history of basketball? Like,
second. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at worst.
Tyler, it was like that when the Sixers weren't good during the process years or, like, really even a little bit before that. But whenever Kobe would come into town, like, I'd be at games, I'd be there with Devon, and there'd be, like, 5 people there. And then you go in when Kobe came into town, and it's like, hold on, I sit there in the media section every single freaking time, and now I'm standing for the game. It's like, hang on a second. Whoa. But that's what you got with Kobe. You're getting the same thing with Bron.
Yeah, you're going to see one of the great historical players of all time. And he's doing it in his, 20th season? In the 21st season?
He actually played in the game tonight, and he didn't sit out.
And I went and did the math, and you can't be number 3 if you're the GOAT and you're number 1. But don't worry about that, TZ. You got a baby.
Listen,
you're not sleeping. BG, I understand.
Listen,
it's
man,
cool. It's cool. You're
you
tired.
and
I understand.
You and I agree on that sentiment. I was talking to the people that don't like LeBron and still have to give him credit. You and I agree on that conversation.
Okay. All right. I don't know who those people are.
Listen, blocks. The C block's coming up. Odds for next year's Super Bowl. We can continue the 76ers LeBron conversation as well. Some other coaching news in the NFL. That's all coming up. Philly with John Marks. PHLY. Y. All right, so check it out. BetParks. You know, it's the only app that I would recommend. The only online casino that I would ever recommend. And right now on the BetParks app, Kansas City 1.5 favorites. That's just holding strong right now. 1.5 favorite in the big game. We'll hit up some of the prop bets coming up here over the next week or so. Also, next year, it's out right now. The big game to win the Super Bowl in 2025, 2026. It's out. We'll talk about that coming up on the other side. But whether or not your team's scoring, there's always something to do on the BetParks Online Casino and Sportsbook app. The only app I'd ever use. Get some skin in the game. Play blackjack, craps, poker, roulette, hot online slots while watching the game. And it's real dealer, live dealer right on your phone. So download the app right now. Enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. New users, download the app. You get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Your casino bonus must be wagered. BetParks.com for details. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, or Maryland for the BetParks app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, Ace is the place if you're incapable like me. I was actually just thinking about this. All right, I'm sorry. Ace is the place. Check that. True Value. I got the wrong one. Do I have what is it? Or is it Ace?
Is that their secondary jingle? Is that the one that didn't make it to market?
Ace is the place when you're clueless like me. I was thinking about this. I have to, like, in as I'm getting older now and I'm approaching 50. I heard people talking about this on one of the shows I listen to. Like, can you hang a TV? Tyler, right now, would you be able to hang a TV in your apartment/house?
No, I mean,
start to finish. Put the bracket up. Get the TV. Put obviously
I can hang the TV. The bracket portion would be the difficult part for me. I am terrible at that kind of stuff.
I'll bet you Black Gritty would be able to hang the brackets and everything else. Like, honestly, and I feel pathetic about it. No shot. I would have to contact Ace Hardware Home Services because that's something they can do. Estimates on equipment installation, right? Things like that. But we're talking about appliances. We're talking about air conditioning, heating, plumbing, all the things that I really have no shot at doing. So what do? Go to Ace Hardware Home Services to get started on your next project. So it's residential maintenance, installation, home repair services that includes plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. Free estimates on equipment installation, emergency services. Something goes wrong after hours on the weekend. What do? Ace Hardware Home Services. Service you can trust. Satisfaction's guaranteed. They'll make it right no matter what. AceHardwareHomeServices.com to get started on your next project. Hooah! Ace Hardware Home Services. There you go. Yeah, I'd be lucky to be able to do a picture frame. Like, that's pretty much where I'm capped out at, Black Gritty. Could you right now, if you walked into 4 walls closing in, getting bigger, nothing on the wall, would you be able to hang a TV from start to finish?
Could I do it? 100%. Yes. Do I do it? I do not. This shelf.
Good answer.
The
shelving,
the light dismounted to the wall, my TVs. I have an Ace guy. You got to get a guy, because here's my biggest thing. I don't want something to fall down in the middle of the night and not have somebody to blame. Because if I did it and something goes wrong, I'm gonna just cry myself to sleep. If it happens to somebody else, I'm like, hey, get your butt back over here and fix it. So certain things that those are big jobs. Let somebody else handle it. Get the Ace guys out there.
All right. I guess. I don't know. I felt like the way it was being portrayed was you're really not a man if you can't even hang a bracket to put a TV on.
I can change my tire if I'm on the side of the road. I can fix a flat. I can do, the things that I need to do to my family survive, I can do. Making this shelf angles so nothing slides off of it. I don't feel like dealing with all that. I got no, not my time period. We live in a golden age, Johnny Marks. We got Ace Hardware out here. You know what I mean?
I believe me, I'm labor intensive. I love to do I love mowing the lawn and doing that kind of stuff. The skill is what we're talking about with what we're talking about. I have no skill.
Did you say you like mowing the lawn?
Yes, I love mowing the lawn.
What is it, like therapeutic for you or something? That's one of my least favorite necessity activities that you have to do. I hate cutting the grass.
I love it.
Do you have a riding lawnmower?
I do now. I actually got rid of my riding lawnmower and I was doing it with just a regular push mower. It would take me 2 hours because I have a pretty big yard. And then when the lawnmower went and I couldn't get it started, I went out and I bought a riding mower because then it takes me like 45 minutes to do the whole thing. But no, like there's something about doing a good job. It's like I love using the snowblower. I'm telling you, if you're talking about the top 1% of people that use the snowblower, I'm probably in that top 1%. I mean, the technique that I have, the attention to detail, the straight line that I get when I'm going right down the edge of that driveway, the sidewalk, how crisp and perfect it is. I do my neighbor, I do my other neighbor because they're a little bit older, right? I cut up and I go up that, man, I'm telling you, you get the shovel to get the areas where it makes it a little bit tough around some of the edges. There's nobody that snow blows like me. I'm just telling you. And I approach the lawn the same way. I have a smaller mower that I use to get the tougher spots because I have a big swing set and whatever. And then I have the weed whacker. But yeah, Tyler, I take pride in mowing the lawn. It is therapeutic to me.
And I will say, I give you credit. If you have an older neighbor or somebody who's unable to do it, kudos to you for being a good friend and a good neighbor. Kudos to you. For me, like the stuff that I got to do, that's that shoveling and cutting grass, man. Nah.
Oh man, I love it.
Nah.
Again, anything.
Well, and again, so like you have the riding mower, which I think kind of can make it therapeutic. Put some headphones in, listen to some music, or for you, probably listen to
I
talk show in
actually
Omaha, Nebraska.
It's too loud. I have to wear headphones or put earplugs in. It's too loud to damage my hearing, bro. I'm like half deaf right now. But no, but it's a zero cut too. It's not one of the ones with the whatever. It's a zero cut, so I'm moving.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm moving, brother. It's a wide range that I hit. I'm moving. Boom. I'm taking care of that thing. I mean, I'm like semi-pro when it comes to mowing the lawn. Honestly, if I wanted to start my own business part time, I could probably do it.
Yeah, he's in the lawn mowing league of America.
I'm just telling you. It's fun. Oh, like I get and I use I don't do the fertilizer and things like that. Again, that takes skill to know what to do with that. But yeah, man. So listen, the Gritty, if you ever need in a pinch and you need somebody to mow your lawn, I could probably get over there.
You got the zero turn. I'm calling you every other weekend. Now you got the zero turn.
Man.
You'll be done my lawn in like 20 minutes.
And to think I only have like $2,500 left to pay it off in like 3 months before the 0% interest. Yeah, it's great. Welcome to my world. All right, so Black Gritty. The big question with the Eagles right now, and that we're having outside of the Super Bowl with Kellen Moore, is like, all right, well, who the hell who are you going to hire if you don't have Kellen Moore? So as you're watching coaches go off the board, or like Pete Carroll, I mean, you think about this. I saw someone put out a tweet where like the last game Don Shula coached, I think he was 67 or something like that. Chuck Noll, the Steelers, he wasn't 70. Coaches didn't coach into their 70 as a head coach in the NFL before. I thought Don Shula was like 80 years old. He wasn't even 70 years old. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll's 74 and just got hired by the Raiders. And I actually think it's a good hire. But yeah, so Pete Carroll's the head coach now. So now you got to worry about, like, he's got to bring in an offensive coordinator. These other teams got to bring in an offensive coordinator. They got to bring in an offensive coordinator. Would you be interested in Eric Bieniemy, who is still available out there? He fell on his face. He was in UCLA. He left after a year. He was in Washington, although they needed a head coaching change, but he was gone after a year. And then the other big name out there that just won a national championship, Chip Kelly. He's obviously not coming back to Philadelphia, but they're the two hottest names right now as an offensive coordinator.
God, this is what I'm talking about with Slim Pickens. I don't even want to think about that right now. I before I wanted to be enemy to get a job, and he's always got snubbed for getting a job, so he's going to be a coordinator for life. that's the name that you know at least. And at least he was around somebody that you like, Andy Reid. So I guess I'll take that. What else am I going to get? Because Chip ain't getting a job here. He's tried so hard to rehash his image. He has tried so hard. And I still think he's a loser.
Yeah, I just like we had touched on this earlier. You need somebody to like, is Eric Bieniemy? He has an Andy Reid offense. Is that what it is? Well, he hasn't had success since he left Andy Reid, whether it's his fault or not. So are you going to bring that guy in here? I mean, I don't know, man.
You don't have success because you don't have Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is a winner. You get another winner, and maybe your offense looks a little bit better. There's something to that. You know what I mean? Like, it's the whole chicken or the egg. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, or was it the coach? Like,
yeah, I know. The problem is that we just saw the Brian Johnson experiment with Nick Sirianni there, and that was an absolute disaster.
Bieniemy's older than Brian Johnson. He's got more skin in the game. He's older. Agree. So I would assume he's wiser, knows more, just because he's been around longer. I'd give him that caveat of that, at least. But I don't know, and I'm sad about it. I don't want to talk about this. This is depressing.
It is depressing.
I don't want to live like this.
Because we have a Super Bowl that's coming up.
We do.
How about that? And you're the cheap seats tonight talking about it.
We are. I think we're going to be on location again at Bet Parks after Cuz is on doing Cuz's Corner. So I think we're going to be out there in the streets hanging out.
You think?
E-Rock and Ashworth. I'm pretty sure we are. No, don't ask me. I'm not the captain of the ship. This is not. I don't lead that ship. I'm not the captain. I just go where I'm told.
You need a point person that gives you the information. You just show up when you're going to go, right?
Exactly. Oh. Did you want to talk about the Deebo thing? Or do you not care about?
Does he have it? Do you have the Deebo? He may not have the Deebo video. So there's a video out there. Deebo Samuel more or less saying he's rooting for the Eagles in the game, right?
Yes. He the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, and he said that I rock with AJ Brown and Saquon, so those are my guys. And I'm like, wait a second. Those can't be your guys. I just threw it in the Slack. I don't know if you got time to catch it, but that made me sick to my stomach. I know, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but Deebo Samuel has talked so much trash about the Philadelphia Eagles. Even when he was on his high horse and they're going back to the Super Bowl, he couldn't stop talking about the Eagles. The whole offseason, their team was talking about the Eagles. And for him to fix his face to say, well, I don't want Patrick to win it, but I want, AJ Brown. Shut up, bro. Like, you just don't say anything. And I know he came out and he's like, I'm so depressed after losing the Super Bowl. Everybody who loses the Super Bowl isn't happy. Jalen Hurts didn't have it on his screensaver for funsies. He was not happy. When you lose the big game, the thing, again, like I said, about getting that job, when you lose something you've been working for your whole life, it is depressing. It is sad. And I just can't have Deebo. I don't like the juju. I don't want Deebo rooting for me. I don't want to hear nothing.
No, I mean, no. You know why? You know why he's saying that? Because he looks at the Eagles and he's like, "Oh man, Tyler was." We were talking about this before the show. Tyler, I think he's dead on. Because when you look at the Super Bowl odds for 2025, 2026, doesn't it feel like that the Niners aren't going to be one of the best teams in the NFC now? The playoff team, okay. But like McCaffrey, I think the McCaffrey rebirth was short-lived, and maybe he can do it again. But those injuries, man, it's tough to overcome. And like Deebo kind of came back down to earth. Brock Purdy came back down to earth. Deebo's kind of like a gadget player, but a really, really good gadget player. He didn't do much of anything this year. So
okay, he's got the quote up there.
Yeah, you can see it if you're watching. The Chiefs beat me twice. I got all the reason to hate. It's the Chiefs and the Eagles. I get a lot of hate from both. Yeah, no, like I don't know, man.
I got a lot of hate for my brother AJ's over there, and I definitely want to see him win. I definitely don't want Mahomes to get a third. I'm rocking with AJ and Saquon. This one is for sure. He added, like, shut up, dude. Shut up. And the way he talks. I don't like the cut of his jib. I don't like nothing he got to say. Stay on that side. Stay over there.
Yeah, we don't need Deebo because there's not a lot of people. And by the way, if you're also and listening to a lot of sports radio, I'm getting a lot of, oh man, like who do you root for? Like I guess I gotta root for the Eagles, but their fans are so annoying, and I hate Sirianni. Like, oh, it's like, how about this? Don't root for anybody. All right, just don't watch the game for all I care. I don't want to be the team you're rooting for by default. Screw you. All right. Don't root for the Eagles. I don't want everybody rooting for the Eagles because I don't want the Chiefs to win a third one.
See, John, you say that, and then I would be hypocritical if I said I didn't feel that way about the national championship this year. I rooted for Notre Dame by default. I mean, they were the team that eliminated Penn State from the college football playoff. But the hatred in my heart, the vitriol for Ohio State is so real that, like, I would have rooted for any team in college football to beat Ohio State.
Sure.
So, like, I think there are certain fandoms, like we talked about the other day, like, yeah, okay, a Broncos fan, I don't like the Eagles fans and blah, blah, blah. But if a Broncos fan's not rooting for the Eagles, are they really that big of a Broncos fan? Because you should hate the Chiefs so much, right? Same thing about a Commanders fan, right? Commanders fan should be like, dude, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I don't want to see a three-peat, but
which we all agree we would.
But bleep the Eagles, right?
No, you're right. But it's almost like they by default they're going to root for the Eagles, but they don't want to root for anybody. So if you don't want to root for anybody, then don't root for the Eagles. No, don't root for anybody. I'm out.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm out.
Or like we said before, just keep on hating and just stay on that side. I don't need you to switch up for one game or talk good about us for one game just so you can go back to bashing us or whatever. Or in the event that something goes wrong and we lose, you're like, oh, see, da da da. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to switch up so fast, it's going to make your head spin. So just stay on the side you're on, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And it's going to be one of the better Super Bowls. Just like the last one was one of the better Super Bowls.
Man, I was watching highlights of it last night. I'm actually going to put a video up of the penalty on Bradbury. It's even worse than I remember that they called on him. It's even worse than I remember. He barely touched him, and there was no angle that showed him he grabbed him. It's like hand touched his back way before he went into the break. It didn't affect him. The ball was uncatchable, and a Super Bowl ended because of that play. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And Josh Allen threw that pass when he got blitzed, and the guy didn't catch it, but they threw a flag. Romo said there was a flag. Whoever his co-host was said there was a flag. They put flag up on the screen, and then when he didn't catch it, the flag just disappeared. Like they were going to call a penalty if he caught that ball for that first down. And I know it. And I don't care what anybody says, and I hate having to feel like that. I hate having to think like that. But 2 or 3 calls go their way. That jump ball with Worthy, the ball's on the ground. There's 2 people have their hands on it. How do you just award it to the one person? You're looking at it. And I'm like, there's just certain things. And I know every game's like that. Oh, Saquon got away with a hold. Well, they got away with holds on Washington too. So that's different. But like when you watch the Chiefs games, it's like, my goodness gracious. It always seems to happen for those guys.
And shout out at Black Gritty. Shout out to everybody that's watching on TV right now. Come on over to PHLY, allphly.com to watch the rest of the show. But there you go. Hoo-ah. Real fast, a lot of people are asking for your comments in particular on this, since you are loosely based with the organization. Flyers raising season ticket prices for the first time in 6 years. As Black Gritty, did you have any involvement? Did you know this was coming out before it was announced by the 76ers? Because you're not Gritty, you're Black Gritty, but still, I didn't know if you had inside information.
So, as someone who was a season ticket holder for the Sixers for the last 8 years, I could tell you, waiting 6 years to raise the prices when you're a little bit good, it's okay. I mean, they're trying to get a WNBA team in here. They bought a little piece of the Sixers. They're just trying to get some cash back, and they're halfway decent. So don't be mad at the Flyers just yet. Be mad in 3 years when the price quadruples because they're actually
when they're good. Yeah.
But right now, I mean, they're trying to get a little taste. I mean, they put their toe in the water. But it's been 6 years, they ain't raised nothing. So go ahead. Go ahead and get your money. I'm not mad at the Flyers right now. I got too much vitriol for the Sixers. The Flyers do whatever they want. Like I said, they was out there doing first down celebrations on the ice. Whatever y'all trying to do, I'm supporting y'all. Y'all need more money. Let's get y'all more money. You know what I mean? Don't nobody give hockey enough pub anyway.
So it's like an average of $6. Tyler was going through it. It's an average of $6. I think if you're down on the ice against the boards, you're going up like $50 a game.
Yeah, it starts at $3 for the highest level. It goes up to $52 for the high, basically right up against the glass. But you're right, the 200 levels will increase somewhere between $3 and $10 per ticket.
It's like they have Michkov, right? So now they actually have something to sell. Like, hey, this is a reason to come down. When they were crappy, they didn't raise ticket prices for 6 years. And they did the right thing. So there's inflation, there's everything else. I think it was Crossing Broad. Kevin Kincaid had it where like a big portion of season ticket holders are in the second level because they're the dieharders that have tickets forever and they can't afford to be down on the against the boards. Those tickets are ridiculous as far as the prices. So you're not killing your diehard fan that can't afford it because you're raising it $5 a game.
Exactly. And it's a situation where, again, the Sixers raise their price astronomically every single year. I'm like, bro, you keep going out in the first and second round all the time. You were in after the bubble, they raised the prices. I'm like, bro, we didn't even get to watch no games, and y'all still went up. Like, so go ahead, Flyers, get your $3, get your $50. It's all right.
There you go. All right, I think they're back in action tomorrow night. Once the Eagles win the Super Bowl and we have the parade, and we get over that, then we'll start paying attention to the winter teams. And I'm not sure if I'm going to start paying attention to the Sixers. I just might be totally done this year.
Flyers and Phillies. It's going to be training camp, baby. So it's going to be Flyers and Phillies.
All right.
I'm skipping right to it.
Black Gritty. It's a Black Gritty night tonight with Jason Ashworth and E-Rock. You could be live from Bet Parks after Anthony. You could not be, for all we know. But check your local listings for days and times in your area to watch them. The Cheap Seats, PHLY Cheap Seats. That's tonight. Yep. And that's right after Anthony's show.
Yep, 7-ish.
Cool. All right. And how do we follow you on your socials?
Just go to blackgritty.com and you'll find all the good stuff at blackgritty.com, because on Twitter, I'm not Black Gritty.
He's Black Gritty from blackgritty.com. That's how you got your start.
That's right. Thanks, Johnny Marks. Sometimes things just spark you. I mean, because you're a funny guy out there mowing that grass. I'm going to have you come cut my grass. That's going to be a good bit. And I get my lawn cut for free.
Can we film that?
I just need a trailer. That's for that. Problem.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm going to call Herb today. You know what I mean? I'm sure Herb got the hookup. You know what I mean? I'm going to get Herb on the job.
I can get it done.
I need Johnny Marks delivered to my door.
You should see it, man. Listen, and I don't need to use the snowblower again this year. I'm perfectly fine with not doing it. But if it snows, I'm a good neighbor to have. So I'm ready. I got to make sure there's gas stocked up. I could ride that damn thing for a day straight.
Don't call John to help hang your TV. But man, if you need any landscaping done, John's your guy.
Telling you,
right?
That's
out
the
there
goal
in the
this
shining,
year.
Just trekking to your house to make sure you survive in the winter snow blizzard.
That's the goal this year.
Find John in the hedge maze.
Is to become proficient. Oh, you should see me trimming my bushes in the front too. Oh, like perfect. It's like a perfect. It looks great, man. Telling you. Like I'm in the wrong field, man. I should have went in not landscape design, landscaping, and snow removal. Would have been good.
In retirement age, I mean, they get some better headphones. You can just be out there easy breezy. You know what I mean? Cutting that thing.
It's actually been recommended to me. Why don't you do a podcast on the riding mower? Put like a GoPro on me and just.
There you go. We should do it. I'll bring the drone out. Oh, come on, Johnny Mars. We having a lawn episode. We got it.
We got it. Springtime. We got it. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow live at 8:00. Appreciate everybody that watches live every morning on YouTube. Our mad chatters that get involved in the show. Black Gritty's often on there watching live and commenting as well. But shout out to everybody out there. If you can't watch it live and you're watching this later on, you can watch it whenever you want. If you miss a day, just go back. It's available on PHLY's YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. Get involved in the show. And also, if you want to listen to the audio podcast, it is available wherever you find your podcast. Rate, review, give a 5-star review. We appreciate it. Just search Philly with John Marks wherever you get your podcasts. We're back tomorrow live at 8:00. Flip over to Ant. He's live right now. See you.
We all silly like the mayor.